So are you also a person who is a fiction reader and who finds it difficult to read the self-help book as because there is no much story behind it? Then you are at the right place. We are here today on this video to understand how we can read the self-help book even if we are fiction lovers, and a thing without a storyline or imagination can bore us down. So I am Kanika and you are here on our channel where we discuss new books, where we share our opinions, we share our choices about the books, and we recommend each other so that we know which is our next to read. So let's begin this video, but before beginning it, I would like to request you to please click on the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so that you are notified with every new book we are reading and every new video that we are uploading on the channel. So let's begin with the video. As you, I am also a reader who reads more of fiction and who finds self-help books as quite boring because I could not connect to them in some way or other, but I tend to read self-help books because they help us to learn new things and incorporate new habits, right? So how can we go on with it? How can we actually read and gain something from it in spite of the fact that there is no story behind? So there are few tips that I can give you in this video. The first one I would take is that take up some books which are having some short stories. So even if you are not reading a self-help book, you will surely connect to the stories and you might skip to some portions and to the story altogether, which will help you learn and incorporate some new habits. So a book that I recommend you with lot of short stories can be The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Of course, that book is something that you have already heard of, but that is a self-help book which contains a lot of short stories. So in spite of the fact that you are not going for some facts or figures or some path that is given straight away, you can go for the stories of the people that are around them. And there is another book known as 18 chapters which also contain a short story format. So you can read those stories and enjoy those stories, where we can go for it and read a self-help book, right? So moving on to the second tip, or the fact that in case you want to read a really self-help book which contains step-by-step procedures, something like You Can Win by Shiv Khera or Robin Sharma's book, then what you can do is do not take a book at a stance. Like in fiction, when we are going with the flow of a story, we take one book or two books to the maximum at a time, and we try to complete that story, following that story and getting involved in their world. But when we are talking about self-help book, it's not a continuity, it contains some steps. So what you can do is take it with a fiction that you love or some fiction that you are trying to read again. So you take it with a book which you love, and then you take 2 pages at a time, 3 pages at a time, one tip at a time, or one procedure at a time, so that you can mix and match with them. You won't get bored, and the most important thing that in this procedure is that you can actually learn and incorporate those values, right? So what is the use of a self-help book if you are not able to incorporate the values, right? Correct? So what we are doing here is we take one topic from self-help book, we take one fiction book in addition. So when we are reading the self-help book, we will go with the fiction as well. We will take down the notes, we will learn and try to move that habit into our life so that we actually gain from all these exercises. So moving on to the third thing that we have when we are reading the self-help book is that you cannot learn it, right? So it's you cannot have everything from that book. So what we need to point out is we can use the annotations in those books, right? So put an annotation, put a sticky note, put a note on it, and you can just write down the quote that you like, or you can just underline the thing that you want to have in your life and you want to get it into habit so that you improve your life or your living style or your lifestyle or your culture, and you want to use that thing in your life, right? So you can take that point out of that page of that chapter and you can annotate your books by using sticky notes, and rather than destroying it, of course, you can use sticky notes, and that will make you take out the maximum from the self-help books. Okay, then moving on to the fourth thing that you can do is that you can keep your writing journal. Most of the people ask that how do you retain the things that you are reading from so many novels or from so many books, because we get confused from what we have learned before, what we are learning now, and what are the stories that we are reading. So this is in fact for both the self-help as well as the fiction books. What you can do is take out a journal and make it as your reading journal. So that is a very beautiful practice. I even practice that. I keep out a small diary where I keep recording all the books that I have read and all the things that I loved about that book. And these things will help you retain what you are actually reading, what you love about that book, what you have learned about that book. So we can have the same practice for self-help books. Instead, if you are finding that annotation is quite difficult for you, that is not yours, you want to return it to someone, you cannot destroy that book, then the best thing is keep your reading journal, write down the facts that you loved and that you want to have in your life, and you keep that journal with you. In case you are distracted or you have left that habit out of anything, any unavoidable circumstances, due to any changes or anything, you can directly go back to that habit by that reading journal. So having a reading journal for a self-help book can be really wonderful. But before going for self-help books, what I would like to say is please limit yourself when you are going to read so many of the stuff, because once you are into it, you might find that stuff repetitive and that might bore you down. So limit yourself about how you are reading them. Give yourself some particular time interval so that you can actually use those values which you have read. Okay, and there are many other factors that you need to choose between when you are choosing a self-help book for yourself. It should be according to your lifestyle, because the tips that are given there are for everyone at large, and what is there in your life and how you can improve it is only up to you. So do not follow them blindly, follow them as per your schedules and your lifestyles. And also give yourself some time before picking up another, and always leave some room for your creativity and the way you want to. You do not want to be the person that the book is saying, but you just want to improve what you already are. So take care of the fact that which you are accepting, which you are adopting from them, and how you want to move ahead with them, right? So this is also one of the ways I think we fiction readers can go with self-help books. And if you have any other ways, and if you have tried anything else, do mention in the comment section. I would love to incorporate that in my video. And I would also love to hear your opinions about the self-help books in case you are also a fiction reader. So this was not a partiality for the fiction readers, but the non-fiction readers can also give their views in this, and we will really appreciate it if you are with us and what you feel when you are reading the self-help books. So I will end my video here. I will see you in the next video. And till then, you keep me updating what you are reading currently, and do not forget to click on the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so that you are notified with every new book that we are reading. In case you find that video interesting and entertaining and something which can add value to your life, do click on the like button and share this video with your friends so that we are encouraged to give you more content and more tips regarding books. I will see you in the next video. Till then, happy reading.